Hey you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to another Project Life process video. So in this video, I'm working on another 2009 spread. This is from August. It is week 32, so it's the 5th through the 11th. And I am using Ali Edwards' August Stories by the Month kit. This came to me while I was moving, so I was excited for the chance to get to play with this kit once I had all my supplies back out, because it is such a great summery kit. The colors are bright and fun, and I was, like I said, excited to once again get to play with it. So here's some of the 6x4 cards, or 4x6 cards. And here's the other one that I think I'm going to use. The quote. I really love that bright pink. And anytime you see that I've got these post-it notes on my spreads, it's because I've written down some notes that happened during the week, just to kind of like jumping off points for stories. And so I think I'm just going to jump in. I don't think this is going to be a long one. It's probably going to be mostly putting cards in, writing in some journaling, and adding in a few embellishments. So, all right, you guys, just jumping in. The first thing that I usually go towards after I've put all my photos in is the cards. And I'm just going to be doing the 3x4 cards in this kit since I don't have any 4x6 spots. Although the title card, I'll also notice in the video that I never actually do the title card. I don't even put the date on there, but that came in the kit. It's just with the promotion stuff. It's not one of the 4x6 cards, I don't believe. Anyway, the card that says a little story of just messing around, I believe this is an Ali Edwards product. I'm 100% sure it is. I just don't know what kit it came from. I liked it. And obviously when I put it there at the time, I had a story associated with it. So I'm kind of bummed that I didn't use one of my post-it notes to write the story that I wanted to tell and stick it on that card so that I would know. Anyway, it's not a big deal. I do end up, I can't remember all the stories that I told with this week, but I end up getting a lot of stories told, which is really nice. I love that when you're able to do that on Project Life. That's one of the reasons why I love having this larger format, because you can just have so many more stories told, and there's always stories to tell from your week. All right, so then I went ahead and I started working on the embellishments, and I'm sticking down the chipboard right away, which is not normally what I do. It's like I kind of mess around with a little bit, and then I go right to my journaling, and then I think about it a little bit more. But now it's just like, nope, this is what it's going to be. I love it, and put it down. I like being able to make decisions like that really quickly. I am not good at that. I'm working on it, being better, because I know in the end it doesn't matter. And in the end, when you look back at this, you won't remember, the 5 choices that you could have made. So for me, it's better to just do it and go for it. But I don't know. I'm not always great at that. So because this kit was so colorful, I just love the rainbow colors in this kit. I just couldn't help but take those wood chipboard and add color to them. So I did this. It was either in Ali Edwards' June or July Stories by the Month kit. Can't remember. But it was those wood words. And you know what? I thought about it. I was like, well, I just kind of did it. And I was like, so I have the ink. I love the way this looks. I love the way Ali's inks sit on top of the wood. It's just so good. And so I decided that I wanted to do it again, because I thought that it would really help those wood veneers to pop off the page. I actually was considering taking one of my, not markers, but I guess pens that write in white, and going in between the, where the words are, like getting in the crevices so you could kind of see it a little bit better. But once I did it, you can see, you can actually see it pretty good, really good actually in real life. So I know it's a little bit hard on video, but it gets, because the ink got into the impression, whatever, it made it a little bit darker. I thought that you could really tell it added a shadow to it. So I didn't end up doing the white after all, but I think if that would have worked, it probably would have been really cool too. All right, so now I'm just going to, like, it's probably the next, I don't want to say 5 minutes of this video, but the next little while of this video is just going to be me doing my journaling. Like I said, I ended up having a lot of journaling. And because this was from last year, I went and grabbed my Hobonichi, which is where I was doing a lot of my journaling at the time. By 2018, I think, midway through the year, not 100% sure, I kind of stopped doing my story journals and started doing it in more of a planner setting. Kind of regret that a little bit, kind of don't. But the problem is that I've realized, and if you're interested in how I plan, I do have a video I will link to. I just put up on my blog, on my YouTube. But the thing is I don't want to write the same information down like 5 different times. Like I don't want to write it in my story journal. Then I don't want to get my planner and write it in my planner. And then I don't want to like get a journal and write it in my journal. Like I just want to write it one time and have everything together, which is kind of why I started doing it in the Hobonichi, just kind of keep everything in one place. So I just had to open up one book. So anyway, I did have to look at what was going on. I think I had a specific story in mind and wanted to kind of get a little bit more details about that. So again, just writing another story this week. I don't know if I told you, was the last week of summer. So I think school was starting the next week. So, and actually there is a story that I told in this week that I realized afterwards was the wrong week. It was in one of the 1, 2, 3 containers on that 3x4 card, one of the labels. I can't remember which one, but I was like, oh yeah, that happened the week before. So I messed up, but you know what? It's not a big deal. Like it's there. The story's there. I'll probably tell it the week before too, or maybe I won't. I don't know. But stuff like that happens, and it's neither here nor there for me. Like I know people are doing Project Life by the month and they're getting all the information just from the 1 month and they're not worried about it week to week. But if something like crosses over the dates, it's not a big deal to me. It really isn't. Like I don't get worked up about it because it's in the same year and it's within a couple of weeks and days, right? If it had been like from 2 years ago, yeah, probably I wouldn't be wanting to tell that story that was like in the wrong year. But anyway, just a thought. Okay, so now you can see that you saw that I had some issue with my glue. I think since I had moved and I hadn't used it in like a month, I think it was like just had dried out. So anyway, I really like that Gina K Connect glue actually a lot. I would recommend it if you're looking for some glue, and it does dry clear. So that was actually pretty messy, but still good. I enjoyed working on this, and I enjoy getting messy from time to time, but I would suggest not putting glue on your fingers like I did. All right, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is put those cards together just so they don't fly out of the pockets. I like to adhere them together. And then I realized that I still needed to work on that 4x6 card. So I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do there. The card just messing around for whatever reason, I felt like I wasn't getting I couldn't figure out what story I should tell with it. So I was thinking about using this August card, which I think is super cool. And I kind of wish I had used this August card as the title card because I think it would have gone really well with this week. But I didn't. I chose the bright pink, which I love too, because it just brings out all the color. And the reason I really like the way this looks right here, this August with the green triangle, the thing I didn't love about it before was that the triangles were on top of each other, the Love August above there. And then, so I switched it. And when I switched it, then the green, that August card and then the chipboard were both the same green and they were like on top of each other. And I just didn't like the way that looked. So then I'm like, okay, what would pink look like? And, because I really love the idea of kind of repeating that same shape
Well, I ended up moving it over onto a little, you know, that card right there, a little story of just messing around. And I love the way it looked. So it's kind of interesting how you'll work on stuff and you'll do it, and then it's just not feeling right. It's just not feeling right. And then when you do something that does feel right, you just know right away. You're like, oh yeah, that's it. I told my story and then I was done. That's simple, right? I don't know. Sometimes I make it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. Anyway, you guys, that is it for this spread. I guess the only thing left to do is add the dates on the title card, but I definitely do that off camera when I realize it while I'm taking the photos. So thank you again so much for joining me. I really love how this turned out, and I'm really loving the rainbow colors. So if you guys did not have a chance to snag this kit, definitely check out Allie's digital kit because she offers them digitally. All right, you guys, we will catch you in the next one. Bye.